Why do you want to become a pharmacist?
Because I've learned over the years, working several different jobs, that I really like to interact with people. And I went through a lot of classes in college and decided that I like the challenge more than to just work a basic job.
Okay. What was your favorite subject while in school? What subject did you struggle with the most?
My favorite subject probably would be chemistry, just because it was more challenging, but I also had a really good teacher, so she made it easier to learn. I really did not like English at all. It was hard to get focused and stay paying attention because I just didn't like it.
Two of your technicians aren't getting along and customers are starting to notice. How do you handle the situation?
I would schedule a time to pull both of them aside at different times and let them tell me what's going on first. And then after that, I would bring them in the room and try to settle it in a civilized way to make sure that they're getting along and it's no longer interfering with the business.
A customer asked about an over-the-counter medication you never heard of before. How would you handle this situation?
First, I would tell them I'm going to look it up in our system and see if our store has it in stock. If I can't find it, I can research it a little bit more and tell them I'll give them a call back and find something that's very similar to it, or direct them to a place that does have it.
Customer returns to the pharmacy with a bottle of prescription medication that is partially used and says it doesn't work. How would you address the issue?
First, you'd probably want to look at the medication and see what kind it is. Most medications are going to take a couple of days to get in your system. They're not going to automatically act. So you'd want to make sure that they're using it correctly and see if after 10 pills that they just still are not getting used to it. Then you'd want to probably give them a refund and ask for a new medicine.
You're out of stock of medication for a customer who is extremely difficult. How would you explain the situation to the patient?
Can't believe that.
You're out of stock on a medication for a customer who is extremely difficult. How would you explain the situation to the patient?
Since I know that they're extremely difficult, I know that they come in very often, so beforehand I'd want to try and be caught up on what was coming up next and give them a phone call before. That way there's no confrontation inside the store.
What do you think is the most important business aspect of being a pharmacist?
I feel like being very friendly and knowing your medications, being very knowledgeable in the field and knowledgeable about who takes what medications and making them feel personable, because that's what makes you come back in a business.
Thank you.
That's it.